I have to ask you, I recently saw some footage you posted of your time in Dublin with the UFC interim championship at 145 pounds, Conor McGregor. You were there with him, with Gunnar Nelson at the Straight Blast gym. I saw you, you looked like Darth Vader with the broomstick and the fights. What was that like to finally train with Conor? I know you have been on each other's radar for so many years. He's been seeing the motions that you gave to him, but what was it like to spend time with him?
Just a beautiful, beautiful experience and great pleasure and honor. Too much fun, too much fun.
Too much fun.
Yeah, Gunnar and Conor are so much into movement, so much into movement. I also had the pleasure of working with Artyom Lubov, who is the Ultimate Fighter finisher, another great guy. And we were just hanging out, talking movement, and eating good food, and playing around, and developing. And I shared with them a lot of tools and developmental pieces, and got to play with them as well. And just the best. That's what I wanted always my life to be about, and that's what my life is about. It's about movement.
Movement. And one of the things that you said that you worked with them on was softening exercises, because as martial artists, they're sparring and they're hitting, and I guess you're being a tough guy all the time. What was it about the softening exercises, and what did you do with him?
Yeah, this is a very neglected concept that I did not invent, but I brought from traditional martial arts that is missing in the modern fighting business. The nature of the work that MMA fighters and boxers do is very hardening on the body. It's a form of protection that the body develops as an adaptation to the training. Getting hit, hitting heavy bags, hitting people, just protecting yourself in the face of this great danger. And then what happens is, if it's neglected and it's left to do its thing, you will harden and harden and harden, eventually crack and eventually break. And this is something that I kind of wanted to shine a light on. And I have a huge amount of exercises, very unique physical tasks and drills and exercises and games that I collected over the last decade to bring the softness back into the body. Mind you, it's not about stretching. It's not stretching, it's about softening. And those drills are a great tool and a resource for everyone, and definitely for fighters, it's a must.
Okay. And I saw you playing with the swords and with the broomsticks. You were introducing new movement techniques. When you see Conor and Gunnar move on just a basic level, were you surprised, impressed? Was it what you were expecting from two great fighters?
They are highly specialized in reacting to another body. Once there is a change in the scenario, the whole system has to repattern, which is exactly the reason why I want to do that work with highly specialized people.
Okay.
And all of a sudden it's a stick, and the range is different, and the opportunities are different, and the possibilities are different, and they have to recalibrate, stay fresh, repattern, reinvent themselves, and move in different ways, new ways. And that's a great tool later on in the unpredictable nature of the fighting business.
That's exciting. That's super exciting. You said that you love loudmouths, and when you were talking about Conor, and we put that short video together, we know Conor as a showman, a loudmouth, but as a great fighter. What did you find?
Conor is something special. He's a very unique. People know the showman that Conor is, and they know the fighter and the competitor that he is. They do not know the person that he is, and they do not know the martial artist that he is. And there are all these layers to him. He's a very, very dedicated martial artist, curious, obsessed with the development of movement and martial arts. and then very respectful and honorable student and disciple. Then at the same time, he has the showman layer, which he does extremely well. He creates a huge division around him and just steers things up, sells those tickets, brings those people in, and that's another thing that he does very well. Then he has the layer of the person, the private person that he is. Then he has the layer of the competitor and the fighter that he is. Yeah, and I think just the public does not get to see all this complexity. And they get stuck on one thing, and their egos are getting reflected in that mirror that is Conor McGregor, and then they get a reaction. Some hate, some love, some are inspired, but nobody can ignore.
You know what's next? That Ido Portal is next.
To watch the full episode of my moving conversation with Ido Portal for free, go to LondonRealAcademy.com.